This is 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. First and foremost, all praises are due to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the elder apostles and bishops of Great Millstone for teaching us his truth. Salutations to the brothers around the four corners of the earth who are teaching this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to the hopeful elect, a few men, women, and children that believe in this word. This is your brother Kawat Sabah coming at you again with another lesson. This one is entitled, Watch Unto Prayer. Let's read this again. 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And sober entails being clear-headed, clear-minded, alert. Let's get a definition of this word watch real quick here in the interlinear. See what that says here. This is the Greek translation of the word watch.
Strong's G 3525. Napho.
Okay, it says here to be sober, to be calm, and collected in spirit. All right, so we are to be what? Sober, clear-headed, calm, and collected in spirit, the Holy Spirit, the Rakak Badash. It also says here to be temperate, which means to be in self-control, have self-control. Put our bodies and our lust, our passions and desires under subjection to the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. It says here to be what? Dispassionate, which implies being stoic. To be circumspect, look around you, see what's going on. So those of us who are part of the Hope for Elect, we are paying attention to what's going on around the world and filtering out what's going on around the world with the scriptures. Let's see what else it says here. Okay, that's pretty much it for that. Let's go back to... Let's read this again. 1 Peter 4 and verse 7. But the end of all things, the end of this world, this evil temporal world, Esau's world, so-called white man, the devil, but the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. Like it says in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 17, pray without ceasing. We have the name of Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai to call upon. We're going to need those names for the times that we're coming into. As you see, things are getting more and more crazy out here. The love of many is waxing cold. So let's go to Second Esdras, Second Esdras chapter 6, and let's read verse 7. Because this devil's world is ending. Esau's world is ending, the so-called white man. This is Second Esdras chapter 6 and verse 7, and it reads, Then answered I, the prophet Ezra, and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? So he's asking Yahweh, or when shall be the end of the first, in the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Jacob, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. So even in the womb, we know that Isaac had two sons, Jacob and Esau. All right. Jacob had, of course, 12 sons, the 12 tribes of Israel. And we know Esau is a so-called white man. So even in the womb of Rebekah, we know that Jacob held Esau's heel. So that implies that he was going to pull Esau back and that Jacob had next. But right now, the world is in captivity to these goddamn Edomites, these devils. But his time is ending pretty fast. Okay, his world is slipping away. Let's read verse 9. Second Esdras chapter 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, meaning this age, this aeon, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we know Yahushua is soon to come back in rulership, and Jacob implies Israel. Jacob had 12 sons, the 12 tribes of Israel. So the Israelites have next, starting with Yahushua and the elect. For the first 1,000 years of dominion, the kingdom of heaven is going to come down upon the earth. So Esau's kingdom is crumbling. His population is dwindling. His women are clowning him. And nations are despising him and recognizing that he is the central problem of the world. He is the wicked. But everything is crumbling. His infrastructure is crumbling. Like I said, the other world leaders are realizing that he's no good, that he's the devil. So everything is falling apart for this devil. And we know that Elder Malcolm of GMS Chicago had a video. Also, the elder Manata Zakwa from South Carolina also had a video about the Chat GPT that came out and showed who the Edomites are, all right? The so-called white man. So everything is being revealed. The son of perdition, the son of destruction is being revealed right before our eyes. So let's go back to, let's get some more precepts. Let's go to Revelation 12 and 12. So this devil knows that time is running out. Salakia for that. Let's go to Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. And it reads here, it says, "Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil," our adversary, so-called white man, "for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." So that's why Donald J. Trump is in office. He's taking orders from the elites of the Edomites, the international bankers, to speed everything up. Because their ultimate plan is what? To bring about the MOTB, the CHIP, in Revelation 13 and verse 16. So they have to bring chaos. That's via Jacob's trouble, which we're on the cusp of Jacob's trouble. You know, the race wars are going to heat up, civil war, rioting, sedition amongst men, all these things, famine of food prices going up, people dying like dung on the streets, robbing and stealing. So we're on the cusp of full-blown chaos happening. So he has to create the problem, okay? Jacob's trouble kicks off, and then there's going to be a reaction to rioting, okay, the killing, the race riots, so on and so forth, civil war, and then the solution is what? The MOTB. But unbeknownst to him, but maybe he does know, and in particular the elites of the Edomites know that man's comings and goings are of the Lord. So everything is really being directed by Yahweh. He's controlling the left-hand side and the right-hand side, all right? And his ultimate plan is to what? To bring Yahushua, our Savior, back down in rulership as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. That's the ultimate plan, to bring the kingdom of heaven upon the planet Earth and to raise up the elect, the remnant of the Hebrew Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans here in Babylon, America, and scattered throughout the world like the sand of the seashore. But only the remnant are going to be joint heirs with Yahushua on this side. And then 2/3 of our people who don't want to hearken to this word, who are not watching, who are not praying to the Father Yahweh or Yahushua, they're going to come back in the kingdom through the loins of the elect in the kingdom. But like I said, Esau's kingdom is falling. He knows it's falling, so he has to, get his plan in order. He's trying to speed everything up. So we're about to go into what? Full-blown chaos. Let's read 1 Peter chapter 5 in verse 8. 1 Peter 5 and verse 8, and it says here, "Be sober, stay alert, clear-minded, be vigilant," okay, watch out, "because your adversary," so-called white man, the devil, the Edomites, "your adversary, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour." And 2/3 of our people are going to get caught up in the calamities, all right? We know the prudent man hideth himself, but the simple believeth every word. So we know Donald Trump, he passed this executive order giving the cops immunity, okay? Also giving the police stations access to what? Military equipment. And what he's doing is cloaking it under the, calling it the Innocence Act, okay? Where innocent people will be protected. So many of our people, you so-called goddamn big Shirleys in these urban areas, they're going to applaud this and say, you know what? This is going to get the criminals out of the ghetto, so on and so forth, all right? So many of our people, 2/3 of our people, are not realizing that they're setting up for martial law. They're setting up for what? Concentration camps. They're setting up for sending some of your sons and daughters to El Salvador and then eventually World War III, not recognizing what's being set up. They're also setting these things up also because they know that trouble is coming. Once the food prices continue to go up, once the shelves keep emptying, then you're going to have the rioting, the civil war, people robbing, people killing, people stealing. So they're trying to set up the parameters for what's coming. But those of us who are part of the Hope for Elect, we've been watching unto prayer. We understand what's going on. We've been being circumspect. We know the end is coming, all right? But this is the end of Esau's kingdom, all right? In order to bring about what? The kingdom of the Hebrew Israelites under the rulership of Yahushua. So let's continue. Let's read, you know what? Let's go to 2nd Esdras 9 in verse 1. Because the Hope for Elect, what we are doing is what? Measuring the times. We are estimating what time period that we're in. We understand we are almost at the end. All right? The last few prophecies, of course, Jacob's trouble. Within that, the MOTB, World War III, and then finally, the destruction of Babylon, America, and the deliverance of the elect. Lord willing, I'm part of the elect, and I endure until the end. So let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 9. We have 2nd Esdras chapter 9, and let's begin with verse 1. Second Esdras chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure, Yahweh says this, measure thou the time diligently, all right, in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So that process is starting now, all right? So we know Yahushua was here. He died. He was resurrected. He's on the right-hand side of the Father. So those prophecies have already happened, all right? We know Abba Bivens, circa 1969 A.D., all right? And we know him as what? John and Elijah reincarnated. So he came and brought the gospel and brought the New Testament understanding and linked it with the Old Testament. He taught 3 men. They taught 7 men in Harlem, in the school known as One West. So this knowledge has been spreading of us being Hebrew Israelites in the truth since circa what? The mid-60s until now. Now we have the internet, which is doing the heavy lifting. And so, like I said, now Esau is being revealed and our people are waking up. But only the Hope for Elect are going to wake up fully and have an opportunity, okay, to be extracted, beamed up into the chariot with Yahushua on this side. So this man's kingdom is crumbling, all right? So watch unto prayer, okay? Our redemption is very much nigh. Let's read this again, okay? 2nd Esdras 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. There are thousands of chariots, whom the white man Esau calls UFOs in the skies. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, we've seen a whole bunch of earthquakes. They're happening daily. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So the story has already been written. We are all just what? We are all just pawns in this great big story of Yahweh on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. Verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. The end of Esau's world is being manifest right before our eyes. All right? So we are glorifying, okay? We are loving what's going on. We see his kingdom crumbling brick by brick. Verse 6, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, in endings, in effects, and signs. The blood moons, we had the eclipse last year. Verse 7, and every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed. This is talking about the elect. We're going to be saved by our works, but works with faith. Whatever measure of faith the Lord has given you, whether you're an apostle, a teacher, a prophet, all right, somebody who's a helper, all right, whatever position, measure of faith you've been given, all right, you're going to be saved, you see, through faith in your works. Let's go to, you know what, let's read verse 8, okay? No, I'm done with that. Let's read, how about this? Let's go to a precept, Luke chapter 21. We have Luke chapter 21 in verse, let's read verse 25. Luke 21 and verse 25, and it reads, and there shall be signs in the sun. Like I said, we've been having a lot of blood moons, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea, and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So this is before what? The day of the Lord. Okay, you're going to have World War III kick off, and then you're going to have Babylon, America, have missiles shot upon it via Russia and other nations. And at that same time, Yahweh, our Savior, is going to be cracking those clouds in a big, gigantic spaceship, along with a myriad of angels. Let's read this again. Let's go back up. Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the Son of Man, Yahushua, coming in a cloud, a big gigantic spaceship, with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. So those of us who are part of the hopeful elect, we are looking forward to this day, the day of the Lord, Judgment Day. We're going to be looking up in the skies for our redemption, hoping that we're part of the elect and we get beamed up and are able to watch Babylon, America be destroyed via nuclear fire and laser fire from the chariots. Let's go to verse 34. And it reads, says here, and take heed to yourselves, those of us who are part of the hopeful elect, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting, okay, and drunkenness, and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. So that entails what? Watching, being sober, all right? Doing the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, walking in the Spirit, doing everything you can to give full diligence to make your calling and election sure. Let me begin again. Luke 21 and verse 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, love not this world, and so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. And 2/3 of our people are going to get caught up in this melee. You see, verse 36 reads, "Watch ye therefore and all right, let's read this again. Luke 21 and verse 36. Watch ye therefore and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man." All right. So we have to watch and pray always. Always pray to the Lord Yahweh and his son Yahushai. Okay, let's go to another precept. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. We have 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. And let's read verse 1. It reads here. This is Paul speaking. "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you." So those of us who are part of the hopeful elect, we know what time it is. All right? We know what time it is. All right? "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you." We are in the last minutes of the last days. "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." This is talking about who? The 2/3 of our people who are asleep, who are not awoke. For when they shall say peace and safety, everything is fine. Okay? This devil, these Edomites have given us what? The C-hip. Okay? They can put money on this C-hip in our hand or our forehead. We're going to be fine. All the chaos has stopped. As long as I take this C-hip, they're going to put money on the card. I'm going to be safe. All right? My kids are going to be safe. Okay? So on and so forth. Let's read verse 4. 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 4. "But ye, brethren," okay, those of us who are part of the hopeful elect, "but ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness." All right, so we have the light, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that has been given to us via the Holy Spirit, the Ruach Kodesh. And we know the true light was who? Was Yahushai, the Word in the flesh. "Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober, stay alert, and be clear-headed. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night." Let's read, I think that's it for that. All right. Let's read verse 8. "But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation." So we have the hope of being delivered. Okay. We believe in Yahushai, that he was here, he died, he was resurrected. He's on the right hand side of the Father, and he is coming back down to claim, okay, his kingdom. So we believe this. So we have what? Faith. We believe in Yahushua, the kingdom, and we have hope unto salvation. Lord willing, we endure to the end. Okay, let's go to Revelation 16. Let's get Revelation 16 and verse 15. And it reads, says here, "Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame." All right, so we're not going to get caught. Okay, the hopeful elect, Lord willing. We're watching. All right, so it's not going to get us like a thief in the night, because we are watching and we are keeping our garments. We are reading the scriptures. We are rehearsing the righteous acts. We are walking in the spirit, okay, so that we have the covering. We don't want to be found naked. So we have the covering of these words in this book. Isaiah 33:6, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times, of the times we're getting ready to come into. Pure chaos. So let's read, let's get a definition of this word watcheth real quick here. Okay, it says here, this is the, as soon as it comes up, this is the Greek translation of the word watcheth.
Strong's G 1127. Gregareo. Gregareo.
It says to watch, give strict attention to, be cautious, active in the spirit, walking in the spirit. Okay? If you're a man of the Lord and you've been taught this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you're teaching, you're feeding the sheep. Okay? You're doing everything you can to give full diligence to make your calling and election sure, to get the hell out of here and not be destroyed with everybody else on the day of the Lord. So either you die in the faith, okay, and get beamed up, or you get beamed up standing here when Yahushua comes in that big, gigantic spaceship. It says here, to take heed, lest through remission, you go back to the old man, and indolence, some destructive calamity, suddenly overtake one. Okay, so we're watching, being sober, staying on point, so we don't get caught off guard. Does it go a little deeper? Let's see. Okay, that's fine. Now let's go back here to let's read this again. Revelation 16, verse 15. Behold, I come. This is Yahushua speaking. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. So you want to be active, okay? You want to be occupied in this work, in this truth. Let's go to one more precept. 2 Peter chapter 3. 2 Peter 3, and let's read verse 10. And it reads here, it says here, 2 Peter 3 and verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, but not to those who are part of the elect, because we are watching unto prayer. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. How is that going to happen? Via nuclear missiles being fired upon Babylon, America, from Russia and the other nations. Babylon, America is going to be a lake of fire. The lake of fire is going to be on top of the earth, and the main point of destruction will be here in Babylon, America. If you are not part of the elect, you're going to be burnt into smithereens. 2 Peter 3 and verse 11. Seeing then, okay, knowing what's coming, watching, okay, as the hopeful elect have been watching, so we know what's coming. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved via the fire, the missiles, the laser fire from the chariots of the Lord. What manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? So you want to have a manner of conduct, walking in the spirit. What manner of life, conduct, what way should you be living, okay? Keeping everything under what? Subjection, all right? Walking in the spirit, rehearsing the righteous acts, praying always without ceasing. Let's read this again. 2 Peter 3 and verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? The Lord said what? Be holy like I am holy. So the elect are what? The elect are what? Looking forward. We are looking for and hastening. Okay, we want this day to come. We are looking fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So we are looking forward to this day. We hate being here. We hate this world. We hate working. We hate these goddamn devils, these Edomites. So we can't wait. 2 Peter 3 and verse 13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. So we are looking forward to the kingdom of heaven coming down upon the earth with Yahushua and rulership, the kingdom of righteousness. Because right now everything is wicked. Men with men, women with women, bestiality, Holly fucking weird, okay? All types of fucking evil and wicked shit is going on. So we are looking forward to what? To the kingdom of heaven with Yahushua and rulership. It's going to be what? All in righteousness. Let's read this. 2 Peter 3 and verse 14 in NLT. And so, dear friends, while you are waiting for these things to happen, be diligent, okay? Make every effort to be found living peaceful lives that are pure and blameless in his sight. Give full diligence to make your calling and election sure. Leave no stone unturned. We don't have much time. So on that note, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I hope this lesson was edifying to you. Shalom.